Hey guys, if you enjoy the content of my videos, you can like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notices of my uploads of all my videos, and also comment down below. Welcome. This is the Day Show, and I am Day Summers.
We are back with a Fox News alert. Jeffrey Epstein found dead in an apparent suicide. A gurney was seen carrying a man who looked like Epstein out of the Manhattan Correctional Center around 7:30, headed to the New York's downtown hospital. A call for reported cardiac arrest came in at 6:38, said a fire department source. 2 weeks ago, Epstein, who's 66 and deceased, was placed on suicide watch after he was found nearly unconscious in his cell with injuries to his neck. The multimillionaire financier was being held without bail pending trial for child sex trafficking charges. Jeffrey Epstein dead.
Sources tell ABC News Jeffrey Epstein took his own life. The exact timing and circumstances are unclear right now, but the mega millionaire is accused of exploiting and abusing dozens of minor girls. He'd been on suicide watch in a New York City jail. Epstein's attorneys had been fighting to get him out on bail, but a judge refused. Prosecutors argued the mega millionaire's lifestyle and wealth made him an extreme flight risk.
Okay guys, I'm going to get up into this topic. As a lot of you may have heard by now, because I'm running late with this topic, this story, because I was waiting for some other things to come out, but I haven't seen it yet. But so I'm going forward with the story now. As you know, Jeffrey Epstein passed away on Saturday. Today is Sunday. Passed away on Saturday, August 10th. From apparent suicide. They say that he hung himself in jail, and that the security guards found him, unresponsive inside his jail cell. Now, there's a lot of theories going on, conspiracy theories going on that may not be so much of a conspiracy theory surrounding what's going on with this guy and what's going on with all the people that are involved with him. They have a lot of different scenarios that are saying how it is possible this is why he's gone, or that maybe somebody disappeared him instead of him being suicided. And then maybe after he was disappeared, he was gone after. Now, one theory is that the elites got him out of jail some sort of a way. They staged his death and he's not really dead. He's off living in one of his islands or something like that. Another theory is that someone was paid to get rid of him, so it wasn't a suicide. Another theory is that some of the guards and people there allowed him to get rid of himself because he felt he had to. Maybe they threatened his family or whatever, so he had to get rid of himself. One theory is that there might have been people that were angry at the elites and wanted some type of proof of to go against these elitists that are surrounding him. So they wanted to have a finger pointed at the elitists, and they believed that maybe someone was angry at them and got to Epstein and made him either do this to himself, or they did it to him, or You know, something like that to make it look as if the elitists did it. That's another theory. Because, you know, I really can't imagine myself. I can't really imagine any elitists wanting to touch him with so many cameras on him right now. So, I mean, I would think that someone that didn't like elitists would want to get rid of him to make it look as if elitists, you know, got rid of him. You know, that's one of the theories I have. There's another theory I have that might not be popular with people, but this is what I really think might have happened if whatever in my thought, you know, in my little theory, I believe that as no one is looking at who would benefit off of him passing. Now, we know all the people that are benefit off of him passing, but who would benefit the most off of him being alive? And I have a conspiracy theory. So don't nobody get angry at me. It's just my thoughts. These are all my facts and opinions. Nothing is these are all of my facts. No. These are all of my opinions, not facts. These are things that I'm expressing to you about my thoughts, beliefs, and everything. So nothing that I'm saying is factual. So here is my conspiracy theory, opinion, thought, whatever you want to call it. But this is what I think. Who would benefit the most off him being alive? It would be Donald Trump. Donald Trump right now is in a political war that is really, really going on. There are things that Donald Trump is setting up to pass in his tenure that is leading up to a lot of people going down. I believe Jeffrey Epstein is he's like an icing on the cake. It's like Donald Trump really didn't need him, but he's almost like an insurance policy. And something like that you would protect. If you notice, Donald Trump is quiet as a peep about this man. He's quiet. I'm not saying anything about any of it. And excuse that, that's my son. He's doing something. But he's quiet like a peep. And usually Donald Trump is all over the place. He's not saying anything. He did the same thing with Flynn, with Comey. Certain situations when Donald Trump is very quiet, that means that he's very sneaky. What if, because I seen the pictures of them bringing out Mr. Epstein, and I won't show it, bringing him out when he was on the gurney, and you know, they showed the picture to everyone. They did a blatant picture for everyone to see it. And that was just saying to me, something's not right here. They want us to make sure that someone sees this, that everyone sees this, and no one questions it, you know. And that really bothered me. What if it was Donald Trump who did this, helped this man fake his death? Because next year is a political season. What if this man went and he turned on all those people because he had no other choice to? You know, he turned on all those people because they were going to get rid of him anyway. So he has no choice. But what if he turned on them in order to try to keep his family safe? Because remember, we can't find, you know, that lady that he was really in love with, Maxwell or something is her name, and Griefer, something like that. They can't find those people. They can't find them at all. And so now the only person that's there is him that you can find. You can't find his family, nothing. So what if he did turn on those people and is not going to show up until election year? Because remember, next year is election year. And it's like, to me, it does seem like a perfect situation for Donald Trump because of course he would want to protect him. As soon as he heard that he was in jail, he would want to protect him. And also the fact that Acosta, when he came out and he said something that was very suspicious to me. Almost like Acosta didn't believe that the man was gone and that he wanted proof or evidence. Now, usually, like, if these people were all in cahoots with getting rid of him and they might be suspicious that he's not gone, then that means that they're suspicious that he might have gone and turned all of them in. And now he's in hiding. And that's what it looks like to me. That he turned himself in and told on everyone and gave Trump all the information that he needs. And it's over for a lot of those people. Those very, very extremely powerful people. Because, you know, he had no choice but to do it. Because if he would have just died, then he would have died for no reason. And you know that they're going to get him, no matter what. So I guess he thought to save his family, whatever it was he was going to do. And that's my conspiracy theory, that Trump has him. That's my conspiracy theory. I could be wrong. It's just my theory and my opinion. Now, and if that's the case, then Trump is using him as the icing on the cake. He's already reinstated the death penalty. I mean, who do you think Trump is going after? All these people, all these elitists and stuff like that. The people that have done, the people that he feels he needs to get rid of to get whatever it is he's trying to get or want. That's who he's going after. And a lot of people are going to be hurting over that. And it affects us as African Americans because we need to know what's going on. And then as a society, too, we have to worry about people like R. Kelly and all of this, because we have to be able to judge our own people. Because this new type of judgment that's coming on is going to be very, very, to me it seems very biased. But yet and still, this is what they have and this is what they're putting into laws now. You know, he has the death penalty now, but he's really going after these elitist groups. And I'm sorry, but a lot of those elitist groups that have black faces are the biggest scapegoats. You know, they're going to be scapegoats, but to tell you the truth, a lot of them, they did what they did. And they went ham on what they did. And now it's time to, I don't know what else to call it. It's Judgment Day. I don't know what it is. I don't know what to call it. But that's what it is. And it could be like how I said, the other conspiracy theory is that the death of Epstein could be people who are enemies to a lot of these elitists. And they could be the ones doing this. I mean, this is just a big brawl going on. And everyone's fighting with, well, all those people are fighting with each other. And we as African Americans gotta stay out of it because we don't know what the heck going on. All of us poor people, African Americans, poor white people, you know, middle class people, people who work, immigrants, anyone that's lawful and abiding, Americans, stay out of it because this is something that the elitists are going through. We can't do anything because we're not on their level. So we can't do anything. We have to kind of like stay quiet and kind of mind our business. Just watch and see wherever their fists are flying, so that we can move out the damn way. Excuse my language, I just cussed. Forgive me. Move out their darn way. Now, The reason why I say this is because this is important for African American people to know. This is a time we need to strategize. African Americans should already have their own platforms. They should already have people in the voting realm that we could vote for. We don't have anyone. People who are immigrants, they have people up there getting votes for in their city councils and in their national elections. All this, they have their people there. African Americans don't have anyone. And this is the saddest part. And nobody's trying to become a candidate. It doesn't cost a lot if you just work together. It shouldn't cost as much. You know, they can pull together some of these people with doctorates and all these other things, you know. Get these people together because we need to have a platform, a real ADOS platform, standing there with people that you can vote for. I don't understand it. Everyone is so sold out to something, you know, and it's not fair. It's not fair. But whoever we vote for or whatever we do, we need to take vigil and watch whatever this big fight is that's going on. And we need to get our own self and our own communities ready. Like I said, we have to become our own funding source for each other because ain't nobody helping us. We gotta help ourselves. And this court case is one of the things that's coming up to when we see the fallout of it. We can't go to really help a lot of these black elitists or people because they're involved with that game. They're involved with that whole war thing. We don't know anything about it. We really can't say much, you know. They wanted to have all these different immigration bills and stuff like that. Ain't nothing wrong with immigration. There's nothing wrong with wanting to help other people. There's nothing wrong with that, but not to the point to where you neglect the people who are here in this country already, that are already struggling, you know. And so we have to figure out how to make our own platform and get our own people who really believe in the people there on those platforms. I showed before of this other lady that she is an immigrant lady, but she very articulate, and she's running up against other city members and trying to do something with New York to get rid of AOC, you know. And it's not something that's bad. It's smart. Why aren't our people that smart? So right now we have to think of our own selves and in a way to where we could elect someone that is really ADOS and really for the ADOS. And now how they're still trying to show it as always black people being the ones who are criminals and gangsters and all these different things, and having these laws like the black extremists, you know, rule and law of us being people who want. Black extremists only mean to me is someone that's just too black, too much that love themselves because of who they are, and that's all it seems to me. And if you love yourself for who you are, that's wrong, you know. And so they tried to have a rule like that against what was really the reality of what was really going on. And I'm not saying it to bash white people or, you know, because most of them are poor white people who are involved with this type of stuff. And I'm not saying it to bash them. What I'm saying is that law, that the government itself it has some sort of a bias, and that they shouldn't, because it's not right, it's not fair. But now they have all these different rules and legislations and all these different things going on. And I'm telling you, it's because of their elitist war that they're having. But it's also, too, they need power. they need to keep their power some sort of way. And whoever they feel is the most threat, that's who they go after. Not who really is the threat, you know. And now it seems like they have to go after whoever really is the threat, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure about it. But, you know, we as African Americans, we need to be vigilant and be ready and to find a way to help ourselves, because they're always going to come after us. When it all boils down to, and after everything is finished, they're going to turn themselves towards us, and we need to be ready for it. We need to get our own self ready. So we need to take this time and do what we have to do at this point in time, to where we would have our own peace of mind. So when they do come after us, we'll have some sort of stability, some sort of plan. Just like our ancestors used to have plans, and the Underground Railroad, and, you know, ways to have Black Wall Street, and the ways to do that. And that was all because they were distracted with World War I, II, and all this other stuff. You know, that's when we progressed. So because we, you know, took care of our business, and we need to take care of our business now. We're in a weirder, peculiar situation right now, because it seems like we're in a way to where we can be elevated a little more. Not as much as we should be, but more than what we are. And it's not, I mean, it's not going to hurt them at all, but it'll just help us. And we need to be able to capitalize off of that and build off of that and do what we have to do in our communities. Hopefully that'll happen. But, you know, our people got to get their heads together. They have to stop sabotaging each other and trying to help each other, encourage each other, and not to where we're hurting other people, because really skin color does not matter. But if you help, you know, there's nothing wrong with loving who you are. And if you help each other, you don't have to hurt other people to help yourself. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You know, we don't have to be evil or mean to someone because of their skin color. That's ridiculous. You know, if people treating you with respect, you treat them with respect. You know, just be vigilant. You know, that's all I'm saying. And because I have a lot of friends who are either white, Hispanic, and they're good people. As long as they are respectful towards me, and I can be respectful towards them. Look, all that other stuff don't matter, because someone could be right in your own family and hurting you the worst. So people kind of need to get out of that type of bias. The systematic system as a whole, when white people are all together systematically, that's when you have the problem of racism. But individually, no, because people are the same everywhere, in my opinion. But I wanted to share that with you guys also.
A terrifying moment at the IRS office. A taxpayer comes in to do some business and is confronted by the security guard who pulls his gun. But the taxpayer has a gun, too, because he's in uniform for his job as a deputy sheriff. Les Trent tells you what happened next.
A sheriff's deputy stops by the IRS with a routine question about his taxes. He has no idea the terrifying standoff that's about to erupt. A security guard tells him he has to remove his gun. The deputy says he can't do that and walks away. That's when the guard pulls his weapon and aims it right at the deputy.
I'm thinking, wow, this man's going to shoot me in my back, because I could hear the anger in his voice.
An urgent call was placed to 911, but there's not one word that the guy they were concerned about was a deputy.
We got a taxpayer at the IRS office that has a gun and he won't leave the premises. I work at the IRS. I'm an IRS employee.
What's he doing?
He's got a gun and he won't leave.
The deputy, Alan Gaston, does try to leave, but the guard blocks the elevator door.
I asked him about 5 or 6 times, just move your foot so I can go. Nope, you're not going anywhere.
Imagine their surprise when the Toledo, Ohio Police Department got there and realized the allegedly dangerous intruder was their colleague from the county sheriff's department. What happened when the police showed up?
The police were extremely confused. They did ask him, you do know he is a full-time deputy sheriff? And he said yes.
The tables were turned. Instead of the deputy being charged, the security guard was arrested for aggravated menacing. Deputy Gaston still can't believe what happened.
We're supposed to be on the same team.
The security guard has pled not guilty to the menacing charge. The deputy and his wife have filed a civil suit against the guard and the security companies that employ him.
We have new details about the troubled history of the shooter in Ohio, including his own sister. The Dayton Daily News reports former friends of the gunman say he once talked about shooting up a bar popular with students at the University of Dayton. In high school, classmates say he had both a hit list and a rape list. Dean Reynolds is in Dayton. Dean, what's the latest on the investigation?
Good morning. Police say they found at least 41 shell casings here at the crime scene from the gunman's legally obtained and personally modified assault-style rifle. In addition, they said he could possibly have used some 250 additional rounds of ammunition. Police stopped him before he could use any of them and enter a bar that was packed at the time. New cell phone video shows the chaos inside the crowded Ned Pepper's bar in Dayton's Oregon district when police stormed in. Just seconds after officers shot and killed Connor Betts, who opened fire on people outside. He can be seen face down here in the bar's doorway. Police with weapons still pointed at him. Still, amid the confusion and carnage, humanity. Two people in the middle of the bar embracing.
Hearing a weapon fired like that in succession like that, and you don't know where it's coming from, like literally running for your life.
Caitlin Mujay was in the Oregon district when the shooting began. On Monday, she went back to the scene to pay respects to those who lost their lives.
I just think that this is really sad, and things aren't getting done to fix it.
The gunman killed 9 people in less than 30 seconds, including his sister, 22-year-old Megan Betts.
It seems to just defy believability he would shoot his own sister. But it's also hard to believe that he didn't recognize that was his sister.
I know he got off on making people afraid.
Aubrey Williams is a former high school classmate of the shooter. She told Inside Edition he was a bully, and she'd heard he threatened to kill one of his ex-girlfriends.
He did make threats often, like just on a dime. It was like it didn't faze him, like he didn't have empathy towards what killing somebody meant.
And today, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine proposed so-called red flag legislation that allows law enforcement or family members to remove guns from someone who presents a danger to himself or to others.
The alleged gunman in El Paso, Texas, posted his online message board 8chan minutes before the shooting. Cloudflare, the network provider for 8chan, has since announced it is dropping the site. But the El Paso suspect was not the first to use 8chan. Other mass shooting suspects have done the same. Jeff Pegues is here. Jeff, what's being done to prevent shootings like this?
Well, good morning. Just a few months ago, the FBI created and enhanced a special task force to study active shooter incidents. Their goal has been to find ways to prevent them by looking for similarities and links. According to current and former law enforcement officials, many attackers are inspired online, and message boards and social media are giving attackers the platform they seek.
2 victims from gunshot wounds
Many recent shootings share a troubling connection. The accused killers have left a blueprint for their alleged actions on social media, like the attack in a Pittsburgh synagogue last year in which 11 people were killed, and the massacre in Christchurch, New Zealand, in which 51 were killed. Nate Snyder is a former counterterrorism official in the Department of Homeland Security.
You have would-be recruiters and provokers who are using these platforms to get to people on a personal level.
The posts are out in the open, but difficult for law enforcement to spot unless they get a tip before an attack happens. Inside this conference room in an unmarked building, the FBI has been working to prevent future attacks. Analysts comb through dozens of recent active shooting cases. Agent Andre Simmons says they have been looking for patterns. It's not really accurate to say that someone just snapped.
Not at all. In fact, what we found is that all of the shooters in our study certainly planned and prepared. Many shooters spent almost 2 years.
2 years.
Planning their attack.
FBI studies have found that only 25% of active shooters had ever been diagnosed with mental illness, and that shooters aren't typically loners. 27% had significant online interaction.
He has a heightened interest in weapons and explosives.
The FBI tells us they receive 3 to 4 referrals a week of people who've landed on law enforcement's radar. But in the majority of cases, people who see the signs of trouble before mass shootings often don't call police. And the motivating factors, are they the same or different? They vary.
Usually it's a desire for some omnipotent control, even if it's just momentary. And there's also a degree of a desire for infamy and notoriety.
In a rare statement from the FBI, the Bureau said the attack in El Paso, quote, underscores the continued threat posed by domestic violent extremists and perpetrators of hate crimes.
I don't know, guys, but to me it seems there's like a lot of bias or something going on now at this time, in this political time. And I don't know what's going on with our world or what's going on with our people, but I hope we all can get it together, because this is ridiculous. It's nonsense. It's to a point where people they can't go to work, they can't go to church, they can't sit in their house, they can't walk down the street, they can't go to a store, they can't go to an event. What are people going to do? Bunker down in cement bunkers? I don't know. I hope we all can just get it together and try to do something to solve this. But tell me, what do you guys think? Do you see that there's an incredible bias, or is it just me? Thanks, guys, for watching. Oh, you can like, comment, and subscribe. Retweet or subscribe. All those things on all my platforms. Thanks, guys.